Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play the Occult Chronicles. In the last episode, we continued to explore more of the first floor with Serenata Enowa. We found an old flintlock of all the guns to get. We got the same one, you know? I had mentioned that I wanted to try to duplicate as much as possible as what had happened to the original Sarah since the glitch. I suppose I shouldn't be complaining that we got this same exact pistol. Hopefully we'll be good enough to get the same exact talismans game as well. That would be really handy. And the same feats presented to me when I level up the talisman stuff later on. We found, I think, 2 clues as well in the last episode. A box of candles and cultists recruiting pamphlet. We got an edge upgrade. A few more quests under our belt that we should be trying to complete once our stats are a little higher. And, if I recall correctly, not much in the way of experience points, though. Yeah, I think we were able to increase our pentacles, and then we got 1 point in swords, but that was about it. Still, we're looking okay. We have over 20 or better for both sanity and life, and 3 for all our statistics. We should be able to handle most of what's on the first floor inside the basement at the moment. And we came over here because I thought this was the quest, the papers that the alchemist wants. That is not the case. These are the papers that the Rashaka will want. So, with that said, let's go ahead and... Oh! Why don't we go ahead and try opening a few doors? If I recall correctly, last episode we got an Aura of Fortune, I think? And so I'm feeling a little braver about opening some of the locked doors that we see. And since we're over in this side of the first floor, and there's nothing else for us to do... Oh, I'm sorry, no, there's lots of stuff for us to do. We have all these doors to open as well. Alright, let's go ahead and walk around, and we will attempt to open by picking or bashing the doors that we have seen that are locked. It's time for us to see what's on the other side of these. You see a locked wooden door. There's a worn keyhole right where it belongs, but no sign of a key anywhere. You examine the lock mechanism and decide that you just might know how to finesse it open. I need to win this challenge. I mean, I guess I could play the 8 and hope that we get another good card to use here for swords. So, okay, hold on, Tim. So, realistically, there's 2 cards up here that you would save. There's 1 card up here you would save the queen for. The knight. Because you have the page. And if that knight is the king... you lose the queen. So you might as well play the queen now. Because the page can take everything that the queen can take except the knight, and the odds of the knight of swords being up here is very low. The lock opens. You are just as talented with the lock as you thought. The mechanism clicks, and you turn the knob to open the door. Two experience is very nice. Increase your swords attribute. Next, we'll go for a pentacles attribute increase, and then I think we'll add another skill card. Unless we find a spell, in which case I'll get a bone of pentacles next. What the heck? You see a large wrench that has been attached to a very old steam pipe that runs along the top of the wall. The wrench seems to be the focus of something supernatural, possessing a slight aura of some sort. The aura radiates a hint of eldritch evil as far as you can tell, but it's more like a warning, danger, caution. What is this doing on the first floor? There are more things in heaven and earth. Horatio, Thon are dreamt of in your philosophy. What the heck is this? Oh! Okay, I was sorry. I understand a little. Let me reread this. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. So first off, "than" is capitalized, which I probably shouldn't be, because I thought that was someone's name. I thought it was... I'm not familiar with this quote, so I wonder who made it. Nothing else in the tool room. I don't think I've ever seen the wrench spawn on the first floor, because the plumber is almost in the second. Yep, we're trying all the locked doors that I can. I should try the locked secret door next. Hopefully the game has not made it more difficult to open. I remember it not being too difficult. You discovered a secret wooden door. It blends in almost seamlessly with the wall, but your keen senses were still able to detect it. Finding it is one thing. Figuring out how to open it is another. Okay, I don't think it made it that much more difficult. The only question is which of these do I want to do? They're both kind of equally tough. And failing this, you get a trap sprung on you that you would then have to try to avoid. I think I want the one target level point lower. You examine the door to decide... You examine the door and decide that you might be able to figure out how to activate it. Sorry, I gotta look at the clock. And we did so. You search around the door for anything of note and quickly zero in on some promising locations. After filling around with several bumps and nooks, the mechanism clicks and the door slowly opens. And before we no, we should explore that room. Oh, there are many locked secret doors around here, Tim. A gallery. Paintings can be in here. Paintings can tend to be anywhere, though. Those paintings of the two gunmen. And there could be the busts in here. A statue could be in here, too. The metal statue. Or a gong could be in here. You see a large wooden brass gong. It looks completely out of place standing over by itself in the room. You sense immediately that all is not as it seems here. You've seen enough of these things to notice a faint aura that surrounds it. You have no doubt that the gong is a sorcerer's puzzle of some sort. The markings are vague, but you would place it around the period of the Three Kingdoms. There is definitely dark magic at work here. The runes covering the wooden frame must contain the instructions on how to use the gong and access its abilities. Again, we need a Pentacles of 4, I'm pretty sure, in order to interact with that. We'll want our cups increased another point, if possible. If I recall correctly, I think if we improve our swords, we get another cups increase here? Afterwards, I think. I suppose that is one of the good aspects about the Mercenaries skill card, is that it does, if I'm correct, and that does, it was, this was a cups, this was swords, it's a swords again, a cups again, and a swords again, I think. That's nice that a skill card like this could give you multiple skill ups of 2 types of attributes. Generally, you only get 1 attribute type of skill up from a skill card. Your attention is drawn to an old suit of armor standing guard in the gloom. As you strain to make out its features, you realize something is terribly wrong. A sudden chill shoots down your spine, and a sense of dread engulfs you. There's a dark sorcery involved in this, and it nibbles at your sanity. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the cursed armor turns to meet your gaze. You must fight to keep your sanity. You've seen things far worse than this. The haunted suit of armor is animated by some evil sorceress artifice. Such a curse would require great power and forbidden knowledge. Its gaze is locked on you, and you sense an intelligence of some sort. You sense a keen intelligence before you. An aura of sadness permeates its very being. You also sense desire. Perhaps you can figure out what, if anything, this cursed suit of armor wants. The intelligence speaks to you. The sadness and anguish are nearly overwhelming, but you understand that it wants you to break its curse. 500 years ago, a Subotic witch stripped the knight's soul from his body, sealed it into the armor, and bound the key within a small glass bead. The bead was taken by a common thief who perished in this house 30 years ago. The haunted armor cannot use the key itself, but perhaps you can. The multitude of armor gazes expectantly at you, and you feel the anticipation in its voice. Have you found the bead? Not yet. You just literally give us the quest. I'm going to... If I get the bead... If I see what we have to do to... So I think the bead is a cursed item, if I recall correctly. It's one of the handful of items you get from a quest that requires bringing it back to the person. I think it lowers our stats by 1. I think it's cups that does that with. But I'm not going to even do that quest for a little bit. Our sword score is 4. If we increase it to 5, the game's balancer might begin making things a lot more difficult for us. And I'm not really ready for that yet. Alright, door. Ooh. 5 target with 6 draw, but only 4 tricks. Or 4 draw, 4 target with 5 tricks. I think we'll bash this door in. Oh. Our hand is not the best at all. Okay, at the very least, I will only have to flip 1 card if I fail. And we will. Maybe this is harder than it looks. Next time you might want to put some more muscle into it. That was risky, Tim. 6% chance that would also disappear on you. Alright, it's a little easier. We have an extra trick now. It looks sturdy, but with a little effort, you might be able to kick or shoulder your way through. This is an old house, after all. At least I have a face card, and we're going to use that immediately. Well, let's just do it. So I always prefer to win door challenges with a lot of points over my target number. But I also really, really don't want an ill fortune card, and so an ill omen. So it's always questionable whether or not I want to throw, like fail automatically, get 1 point under the target, and just fail to try it again with a better hand, or just barely win. I'll just barely win with Serenetta. Splinters and a loud noise announce your success in battering down the door. The way lies open now. Billiards room. Talking about how I like this room in the previous episode. I like the outline of a body here on the covered billiards table. You notice an odd painting hanging on the wall. It is a portrait of a man dressed in 19th century clothing who appears to be completely petrified with fear. He holds a dueling pistol in both hands, and a group of undertakers in the background seem to be digging a grave. Suddenly, the portrait seems to animate and come to life. The coward looks at you with an imploring expression, as if he was seeking your help. You could swear that you can hear a gravedigger laughing. You stare at the man in the painting, and his fear seems contagious. You need to fight to keep your sanity. The coward's fear is infectious. You start to whimper as well. How embarrassing this must be for you. The coward in the portrait seems to be actually shivering. He seems to be fumbling with his dueling pistol, and you fear he will discharge it accidentally. There is obviously a spirit trapped in the painting by some sorcerous curse. So this is the second part of a quest. We could try to destroy it. So in the past, I've just destroyed the painting because the second part of this, I think, requires a 4 wands and a 4 pentacles for you to get the quest. I'm sorry, the first part of this. But we'll leave it alone, and I'll look for the other part of the painting, and I should have read that. Thankfully, we might get a chance to do so in the end. You know that you've reached a new low when you can't summon the courage to flee from a cowardly ghost. Oh, screw you, Vic. What do you want me to do? You gave me a bunch of crap cards. I didn't read the text again. Of course I didn't. It wasn't that difficult after all. You feel a little sheepish about it, but nobody has to know. Don't you flip a card, Tim. A ghost suddenly materializes in front of you. It's dressed as if it stepped out of a safari on the Serengeti. It lowers its large caliber big game rifle at you and seems to be considering you closely. You don't know which is scarier, the ghost or the ethereal gun. I won't win if I play the queen on the 5. So I'll play the 7, and we'll see if the queen can be used later. Oh, okay. Oh, this makes us a little closer. Looks like I should have played the queen now. And we should have. You cower before the ghost in shame. You feel like a rodent that he might shoot for fun. The ghostly big game hunter squints at you like he's sizing you up for his trophy wall. There is a taint to him. You suspect he once brushed elbows with a witch doctor. You both stand there in a sort of ghostly standoff, waiting for the other to make the first move. You decide to enter a trance and use our skill as a medium to find out what this ghost wants. His taint is suspicious. You're unable to establish a link. The ghost seems impatient with you. Your head aches something awful. I wanted a better hand than what I had. Maybe I should have done that. But we will get one more trick and one more draw for making another attempt. This isn't any better. Not really. We don't get anything anyway. Okay, this is still, we got a bunch of crap cards. An ace, a 3, and a 6. But we also get a king and a cut and a knight. So this is acceptable. We will go ahead and use these. And hope we get a wands card up here somewhere. Again, even for the quest givers, when you attempt to get a quest, I like having a high target number because you can occasionally get experience points for succeeding in those challenges. You have no trouble establishing a link after several failed attempts to establish a link. He is quite eager to speak with you. Cheers, mate. I'm Colonel Von Pelt, and you are my prey. Unless, of course, you can prove yourself useful. It seems one of my trophies has left the roost. I want you to track it down and return it to its rightful place. Come back here and let me know how you fared, or I will track you down. No, just kidding, lassie. I'll make it worth your while. Okay, that's not quite all the locked doors, Tim. There's one more over here. We have the butler's ghost quest already? We do. We have to find the chef. And the woman in red we won't be able to talk to for some time. Okay, let's try picking this one. Oh, I don't like her hand. This is very bad. I don't like her hand at all. It seems you overestimated your ability to master this mechanism. You scratch your head in dismay. Oh, I don't like this. Okay, thank goodness. Try that again. It's a little easier. We're getting an extra card draw this time around. Our hand is also garbage. Come on, game. All right, it lowered the target. Our hand is still garbage. It lowered the target number by 1. Game. Screw you. Vic, how is this fun if I keep getting crap hands? This is terrible. Alright, a queen and a knight. Finally, 2 face cards. We had 4 hands that were practically trash in a row. But we have to hope we get a good pentacles, a pentacles card up here, which we don't get. Yeah, I am losing my sanity. Really, Vic. Really. Let's try bashing the door in instead. Maybe this will go better. That went a lot better. Switches and a loud noise announce your success in battering the door down the door. The way lies open now. Vic, what were we supposed to do with that? You tell me what we were supposed to do. So, I'm going to review the game when we're all done with this, probably sometime the first week of November. And I swear, like, sometimes the game is so frustrating. There is nothing you can do to win. The cards are, it's like a scratch-off game. Many times, many times. Well, I guess a scratch-off game, often, significantly a greater amount of time, you cannot win at all. But in this game, you get those instances where several times in a row there was nothing you could do. You don't have the trick or the draw. The target number is a little too high. You just can't do it. And sometimes the game just gives you crap hands, and good. There's no tricks you can take on the other side of the board. It's really frustrating when that sort of thing happens. Okay, nice. So we have 4 swords and 4 pentacles with 3 cups and 3 wands now. Oh, no! Okay. We should enter this room to see if the robot is on this side. And it's not. We're not crossing that plank. I don't think we'll be able to do it, and we can't step back to avoid it. So there's no way to get past that door on this side of the mansion. So we will have to go to the other side. Look at all these purple quests that we either can't do or fail to meet the minimum requirements for. So let's go ahead and examine the gong. And if 4 pentacles, ooh, will now let us read it. I think we'll try this twice. You can't be bothered to read the manual. You decide to just channel... Oh, no. No, we're not doing that. Okay. So, I think we need a 4 wands, or maybe a 5 pentacles, to actually decipher the runes on the gong first, which will make it easier for us to actually ring the gong. We'll come back here when our stats are higher. Hello, cultists. Good morning. You have stumbled into an armed patrol of cultists. You hear shouting and then see the flash of weapons being fired. They don't intend to ask any questions. Oh, hey, our psychic chance is actually really high. Let's do this. You enjoy nothing more than a good stand-up firefight, but the heat you're packing is of a magical variety. Oh, okay, no, I'm sorry. This must be psychic. Okay, let's use our magic against them. So that was the time mistech that Serenata was most what's the word? Had the greatest affinity for. The cultists' ruined bodies lie strewn across the floor. You pause to see if they were carrying any magical equipment you could use to energize. If I recall correctly, so instead of courage, I think we can gain arcane power here. Oh, and bullets apparently. So, I did not alter the chances of you getting cards. Sometimes, I've noticed especially with the mission encounters, you can flip over a ton of successful cards during your encounter. Like, 6 of these cards, or even like 8, could be all positive cards. It's really amazing the game gives such a large amount of benefits for fighting the mission creatures. Alright, more life is useful. Let's also, let's put the demon back into its whatchamacallit. We should have the fight to do this now. And we do. This thing looks like flame, but you guess that you can probably still hurt it. Besides, kicking demons around is your specialty. If it burns, it bleeds flames apparently. You subdue the demon and it retreats to its fireplace chastened, but still potent. You have succeeded in destroying whatever physical manifestation of flame the demon set upon you from out of its nexus within this plane. However, it has reformed itself within the hearth and returned to strength. The face in the fire scowls at you. It still seems bound to the fireplace, but you sense that even now the sorcery that binds it is weakening. We'll try bargaining again. We've had better hands than this. But we succeed. Using the lost sign language of Chaldash, you establish contact with the demon. The demon states that it was recently bound here by an acolyte claiming to serve some dark master. It's clear that the demon thought the human insane and dabbling in things that were way over his head. The acolyte somehow managed to find a list of demonic names and binding rituals in some forgotten tome. The demon says that the acolyte would write them on small checklist of paper. He believes his own name to be in the acolyte's pocket. He perished a few short hours ago when he foolishly attempted to summon and bind another demon, but got the slips of paper mixed up. Find the acolyte's body, then bring the name to the demon, and he will reward you. Now, I think that's on this side as well. Right there, okay. Let's go and try to complete these quests then. So now we can bargain with this demon. I guess we should try that. With the chalk circle broken, you wonder why the demon has not attacked you. Perhaps you could try and communicate with it and see what it wants. It's a choice that should be considered carefully. You know from your training that the demon will seek to deceive and dominate you. Initiating the communication via the lost sign language of Childash, you establish contact with the demon. It claims to be a prince of hell, but you suspect it exaggerates. It wants you to do something for it, and it promises to reward you if you hold to the bargain. The demon wants your help and threatens to kill you and take your soul, just as it did the sorry acolyte lying at your feet if you do not cooperate. In this house, a worthless servant of his has been trapped in a ritual of summoning. It was bound by the acolyte to a fireplace as a crude joke. On its mantle is an old slip of paper with writing on it. Bring the paper back here so that he can release his servant and punish him. If you do this, he promises a reward fitting your task. This must be the remains of the acolyte of which the demon in the fire spoke. He was obviously playing a very deadly game by trying to summon and bind these demons. The name should still be on him, somewhere. That was nice. I got lucky right there at the very end. You carefully search the acolyte's robes and find a small scrap of paper with a name etched onto it in what must be blood. Now, I tend to like giving this demon its name, because it told us the truth. The other demon, I tend to betray, because it usually lies to us. I think, in either case, the demons will give you an edge if you make them reward you. I think if you just turn the slips of paper in, you get a point of experience from them as a reward instead. I'm going to quickly save the game as well. I'm playing for a little bit. Like about 20 minutes or so. Oh, again, happy Halloween, everyone. My intention is to upload a bunch of these Occult Chronicle episodes today to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's the first time it's sunny outside in about a week here in New Jersey. So first we want to find the slip of paper for here as well. This must be the worthless servant that the demon in this broken circle was talking about. You inch forward to see if you can spot the piece of paper with writing on it. You reach to grasp the paper, but stumble. The demon flames up before you, and you feel the heat immediately. Oh, God! Wow, well, screw you too, game. So basically, we get a trap effect if I don't succeed at this. So now our luck is back to being 0. I did not realize that was even possible, or I wouldn't have attempted to do this. You quickly spot the slip of paper on the mantle next to an old clock. You quickly grab it and duck back, slipping the paper into your pocket. Wow. I don't think I've ever yet failed to find that piece of paper. The game made it somewhat a little tougher for us. Normally it doesn't require 5 to be victorious. I'm tempted to betray this demon now. But I don't like those numbers. No, because like I don't like these numbers. But this demon has hurt us twice. You are certain that giving the name back is a bad idea. Perhaps you could use the name to your advantage. You said to use the name to compel the demon to reward you, and then banish it. Oh, game. We have no face cards. Alright, we still won, thank goodness. You read the name in Old Stygian written on the paper. The demon bellows in rage, but complies with your demands and vanishes when dismissed. We've made a dangerous enemy. Demonic Guile. During any challenge option of the sorcery type, each not revealed trick card has a 5% chance of being scryed at the beginning of the challenge option. 2 creatures of shadow swirl around you. You recognize immediately that you are dealing with a type of ghostly creature that feeds off human emotions, fear and pain being the most succulent. You can either stand firm and fight them psychically, or run and hope to fight them another day. You throw a few jabs and notice they actively avoid the shadow of your punches. For a second they hesitate, and that's when you realize you can take them. It's going to be a bit of touch and go, though. Metaphorically speaking, I like to imagine that these flew out of the fireplace after the demon left. Demon's attempt to actually harm us. Not many people are afraid of their own shadows, let alone others. Looks like these nightmares should have been, though. Courage is very nice. I should begin using my weapons again, Tim. You've forgotten all about them. Did we get the quest for this? Yes, I think we did. The pianist. Was that correct? Yes. Oh, the piano. Find the piano. Okay. I'm going to just complete this quest this time. I'll switch the demons that I give the paper to. Against your better judgment, you hand over the slip of paper found on the mantelpiece. You think you hear the demon chuckling as it disappears in a cloud of flame and smoke. You receive a gift, but you have the feeling that there might have done more harm than good. The Tower. An Arcana card. Let's take a look at it, everyone. +1 cups. Replenish all courage for any heroic feat cards in your inventory that require courage after this card is used to take a trick. Very nice. Hey, I like that. And we got it early on in the game, too. Now we have 4 cups. That'll make fleeing and some of our door challenges a little better. Plus fighting physically. We might even be able to pass that plank, but I am too nervous about failing that. We would end up in the basement, and I really don't want to be in the basement. Was that it, Tim? On this side of the house? Yes. Now, I think we're at 0 luck. I thought we got an Aura of Fortune in the last episode at some point for block-picking a door. I'm pretty sure we did. If we're at negative luck, that's really bad. Hopefully I'm right and we're at 1 luck. We actually have a better chance of attacking them. We do have that 1 edge, which allows us to scry the results of what happens if we use sorcery, but it's only a 5% chance per card. So we will instead just attack them so we can use my weapons. You didn't take the advice, now did you? No, we did take the advice, Vic. You just didn't let me use all my cards. Decent hand. We have an ace, but then we have a 6, 2 7s, a knight, and a page, so it's acceptable. But we weren't able to use any of my face cards. Try that again. Another questionable hand. We won the battle. Well done. Get back a tiny bit of life that we lost. We are not ready for the boxing ring yet. I think I'd want 1 more pentacles first before I do that. Maybe we can get lucky and find something that also improves our wands. What's our odds of successfully searching this? Wouldn't mind having 1 more draw before I make that attempt. More zombies from the hallway with the bags in it. That was nice. Page of Cups showed up, and we have a single face card, but it's the Queen of Cups. That is nice. Okay. I remember to use the machete, but fortunately it did not help us there. Darn it. And now I wish I should I fire the old flintlock? The old flintlock is that a played card, Tim? I think it's a played card, isn't it? I think it's a random played number card. Bump the card value up on a random non-face... Oh, card in hand. No, it's too late now to use that. We won the battle anyway. Oh, we might be able to do this now with an increased Pentacles and Cups score. Let's go ahead and try to decipher the pictograms now that we can do this. You decide to take a closer look at the strange pictograms hidden in the frieze that surrounds the bas-relief face. You think you recognize some of the symbols as variants on the Indus Valley seal stones. Perhaps you could decipher them. They might help you understand the strange mumbling, or perhaps even warn you of any danger from the eldritch sorcery that permeates the face. Yeah, we'll just win this challenge. You step closer and examine the pictograms. They are indeed related to the seal stones of the Indus Valley. You piece together their meaning by recalling your training in the odd lost languages lab. The eldritch creature is known as Sissy, and it has been bound to the face as punishment. The mumbling must be its attempt to communicate with you. Sisk Mologath. Six Mologath. Six Mologath must be how you say it. The face on the wall looks amiable, but you know otherwise. Oh, we've already read this a long time ago. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to mumbles now. It's a little easier for us. Aware that you must proceed with caution, you focus your mind and try to attune yourself to the rhythmic cadences that issue from the lips of the bas-relief. Perhaps something can be learned from what appears just to be dangerous gibberish. You slip into a trance, and the words take shape in your mind. You are face to face with an ancient eldritch creature of terrifying power, and its name is Sissix Mulgath. However, trapped in the bas-relief, it is. It wants to strike a bargain with you. So whenever I mess up a sentence, which is pretty darn often, I try to recover quickly as I realize I've done it by trying to make it still make sense. And often, that still doesn't work very well because the sentence is correct on the text and not what I said. So we did a little bit of Yoda there. The bas-relief face seems to almost be smiling at you. It makes you feel uneasy. The smile belies the agony that it must be in. The mumbling's meaning now seems crystal clear. Its heart has been ripped from it and hidden somewhere in the house. The sorcery binding it and hiding it somewhere is also somewhere in this house. And it cannot be broken until its heart has been returned to it. It wants you to seek out the wall that weeps blood and reach inside to find and free its heart. It teaches you the words of release and promises you that you will be rewarded should you help it free the face. Free it. Should you help itself from the... Wow. You will be rewarded should you help it free itself from the face. And here it is. You realize immediately that this is the weeping wall of which the bas-relief face spoke. You force back your feelings of unease and thrust your hand into a large bloody rent in the wall and search for the heart within. Actually, this is pretty evil, whoever did this. The face is right there, and its heart is right next to it, and it can't do anything about it but watch as its heart is doing this sort of thing to the wall. I'll hold on to our king for just a little longer. You guide your hand deeper and deeper into the wall until you are well past your elbow. You try and feel for the rhythmic vibration of the heart and move your hand towards it. Suddenly, you feel something hard and crystal-like. You utter the words of release, and then grab it and wrench it free. To experience... Oh, we have 5 experience points. Well, let's go ahead and add a skill card. And I think it was the athletic specialist I took, if I recall correctly, last time. Oh, or was it mechanical specialist? I'm pretty sure it was athletics, Tim. Although being able to increase my wand's attribute would be very handy. Athletics specialist makes more sense, Tim. It makes more sense for Serenetta Anawa, given her history. You hold the odd... Well, actually, both would make sense, because she was pretty good at picking locks. Oh, no, that was Boots. Boots was great at picking locks. Sarah was good at flipping coins into electrical sockets to open those types of doors. You hold the odd obstacle course record at the secret training facility known as the Meadows. Many of your fellow agents think that you are crazy in your devotion to physical fitness, but it has paid off time and time again. You survived mishaps that would have killed most agents. I remember Sarah was quite attractive, if I remember correctly, in the Anachronox video. She wore like this leather outfit. Yeah, skin-tight leather outfit as well. Yeah, we'll go with this. Alright, and I think we'll work on our cups. Oh, next, maybe we should actually go for the bones next. And we have 3 in cups. That's because we took the heart. Now we'll just turn it in. And I think we're not going to betray it. I don't like those odds anyway. Let's complete the quest this time and give the heart. Last time, so even though it strikes me that the heart is probably a random effect, it certainly seems to be the case that the heart is random, given that I'm pretty sure in the past, for example, the heart gave me +2 to scry 2 cards for deception persuasion challenges. And we saw that one time it would prevent us, the last game before the last game, it would prevent us from dying due to sanity loss. I think the edges that you get from some of these creatures and the rewards, basically, the fixed rewards, it strikes me that they must probably pull from a random pool of effects. Because the one feat we have right now, the one edge we got from the demon by making it give us a reward, is the same as it was for the other demon, even though the name is different. I'm babbling. Sorry about that. As you near the face with the heart, the mumbling grows to a furious pitch. It wants it now. It demands that you place the heart in its mouth. It can barely restrain itself as you fight to keep your thoughts clear. The chains of sorcery are broken. You pull out the heart and place it into the mouth of the bas-relief face. It seems to gulp it down, and you quickly pull your hand back. The sorcery is dispelled with an agonizing scream that issues from the mouth as the bas-relief face and you sense that it is too eager to seek vengeance to stay and... What? The sorcery is dispelled with an agonizing scream that issues from the mouth of the bas-relief face, and you sense that it is too eager to seek vengeance to stay and do you any harm. It also even seems to have kept its word. Mumbled Wisdom. During the challenge option of any lore type, 1 is subtracted from the target level at the start of the edge. A crystal ball! That is very nice to get this. Very nice indeed. That will increase our pentacles by 1 point as well, although it does take up 2 weight in our pentacles inventory. Let's take a look at that item. Item removed from inventory after last use. Used to reveal the final mission room. That is such a nice find. It will make exploring the second basement level a little easier because we'll know where we're trying to get to. It also means that for the seance room, I'm not going to feel compelled to join the seance, because if you fail that, there's an instant insanity card waiting for you, perhaps, as a result. Instant insanity is just like the death card. Death shows up for physical challenges that you fail. Instant insanity shows up for psychic or mental challenges that you fail. That was very nice. I like seeing that as a reward. Good to know that that can be rewarded from you from the face. Oh, hey! And it's the room with all the creatures in it. The trophy room. You feel your footstep down on the pressure plate and then hear the pneumatic sounds of darts being shot through blow tubes. You catch a glimpse of the deadly swarm of needle-tip killers heading your way. You react without thinking, tucking into an acrobatic duck and roll. We don't have a face card in our hand, so I think we're failing this challenge. Oh, please don't let me fail it with by all 5 points. You tumble but choose the wrong direction. You might regret this. Okay, just damage. We've been poisoned. You have been poisoned. You don't know how badly. You will need to remain calm and fight off its effects if you can. Normally, people just keel over and die. Slow your heartbeat and trust in your strength to save you. Maybe it was only a nick. Very, very, very rarely do I ever have to make a poison resist challenge. I think this is like maybe the 3rd time ever I've had this. You must not have been exposed to too much. This is the heads on the wall. Since we don't have the polar bear's head, I'm not even going to bother making the attempt to check that out, because I know what that is. Fleeing from that challenge is actually kind of difficult. I remember it being a little tougher than I would have liked it to have been, and so I'm not going to step there. My goodness, this first floor is massive. You see a magnificent grand piano in front of you. The hairs on the back of your neck begin to stand on end. You feel a presence nearby. Streams of psychokinetic energy are leaking from the piano. You can hear a wailing plea in your mind for help. Some supernatural entity possesses the piano. You brace yourself for its psychic impact. You can see the psychic wave roll towards you. You steady yourself to withstand its shock. You deflect the fear that would have sought to dominate and consume you. The grand piano seethes before you. Something seems wrong here. You sense that a curse or fell sorcery has imprisoned two spirits here. One acts as jailer to the other. You can, in fact, hear the captive plead for release in your mind. You remember a lecture during your odd training about Plotinus' theory on spirit traps. Some cursed items used a spirit to effectively bind another spirit to its existing nexus with their world. Such spirit traps could snowball out of control given the chance. Perhaps you can free both before it's too late. So this must be what is holding up the pianist. He is caught in a spirit trap that was elaborately constructed in the physical form of this piano. You have heard of such things. The piano is old but fully functional. The more you examine it, the more you realize that the piano is integral to the trap itself, which must have required a true master of spirit manipulation to fabricate. Notice that the keys have odd symbols etched faintly onto them. You recognize them as belonging to the lost scriptures of Nag Hammadi. That makes sense. If you can remember the correct release invocation and press the correct keys, then you should be able to disable the trap and free the ghost pianist. Now, if you fail this, a physical trap, if I recall correctly, will assault you. We have 2 3s, a 2, and a 6. We also have a Queen of Swords. We have to hope a sword shows up. It's not easy, but you decipher the keys and free the pianist. He is most grateful and vows to accompany you until you return to the ball. He says that you will never even know he's there. Oh, the pianist's ghost we're looking for is not in the piano room, the music room. That's interesting. I thought for sure he would be. Okay, so we don't have to cross the plank. It just saves us a bunch of time, but since we're not playing story mode, I don't have to worry about time. So we can walk all the way around. You hear a mechanism click and see motion into the corner of your eye. A large pendulum swings down onto your location at a tremendous rate of speed. It looks like it could cut you in half. Instinctively, duck and roll away from the falling blade. It's an okay hand. We have 1 face card, a knight, a 10, and an 8. Then we have 2 4s and a 2. Oh no. This is looking terrible. Oh, thank God a swords card showed up. You tuck into a roll and come up 4 feet away unscathed. Remember that the game likes throwing traps at us directly after a door. For hallways in particular in this game. A study. The Rashaka might be in here. Or papers might be in here as well. Or it could be a gentleman ghost. You see ghostly wisps of smoke rising to the ceiling. You follow the wisps down to a large, comfortable leather chair sitting in the gloom. Suddenly, you see the illumination of a cigar end, and, with that, a ghost materializes sitting in the chair. You're confronted with a supernatural manifestation that sends a chill down your spine. When the ghostly smoke clears, you feel that you have lost some small part of your sanity. The gentleman ghost sitting in the chair puffs away on his cigar and smiles back at you. He looks like a jovial old uncle that you never had. You sense that he is impatient, though, as his demeanor turns from a smile to a frown. Perhaps he thought you were a servant. You decide to use your psychic talents as a medium to try and find out what the ghost is doing here. He might have information that can help you. I'm just going to fail that immediately. Because we don't have it. It's not a good hand. This is better. All high number cards and the Queen of Pentacles. You sit down in the chair across from him and enter a trance. Mistaking you for a servant, he thinks that you were impertinent at first. Then he realizes that you still might be able to help him. He needs a favor done. Oh, my good lady. I'm almost out of my cigars here. Would you be so kind as to go and fetch me a few? The ghostly gentleman leans back and puffs out a huge column of ghost smoke. He fixes you in the eyes and says, there's just one catch, of course. More like an inconvenient challenge, actually. You'll see what I mean. Is the robot here today? A ghost is here. Let's get her. Oh, actually, it's got a lot more difficult now. We'll still try to get her. That did not work out for us. I did try gambling. We would have won had I used my face cards earlier. Screw you, game. One is all I need to take that card. All right, we'll use our queen. Win the challenge. We got her good. Recover one sanity point. Except for the one we lost. Not stepping on the plank. There's no reason to do that. The kitchen. The first floor is simply unbelievably massive in this game. This is quite a big first floor. All the rooms I've spawned for it. You see what at first looks like a blur of light and shadow moving back and forth in a circular pattern. It might even be the reflection of some nearby mirror or window. Suddenly you see a ghost materialize before you. It's dressed in the classic attire of a chef with an apron and a distinctive cooking hat. You stop dead in your tracks and try and compose yourself. Your mind races contemplating this ghostly creature that has suddenly appeared before you. The fear it elicits is of course natural, but confronting the supernatural is never easy. It might be easy if we can get a Pentacles card up there. You have kept your sanity. You might even emerge from this a little stronger. You might not, though. The ghostly chef floats about in a circle as if moving from working station to working station. He seems completely absorbed in what he is doing and does not seem to be paying you any attention. You have found the chef apparently. It's time to use your skills in medium and order the dessert. You enter a trance and reach out to the ghost. It turns to look at you with an angry face. No time to talk. It needs more cowbell. What the heck is he talking about? You know, for this picture, I never really noticed that there's a ghost's head here. He is chopping up another ghost, apparently. You enter a trance and reach out to the ghost. It turns to look at you with a concerned face. You are here about the dessert, no? I would very much like to help, but I need my knife. It has run off somewhere. Once it is back, I will serve up a dessert to be remembered. Dessert? Yes, but my knife has run off somewhere. There will be no dessert until it is back. Have you found it? It is very sharp and very strong-willed. It has a mind of its own, you know. Please tell it to come back here at once. Nothing in the food storage room today. It's time for one more encounter, everyone, and then we'll probably have to call the session. Let's speed up the oven. You stop dead in your tracks when you first see it. A large 19th century oven is shambling across the floor in front of you. It seems to rock back and forth, and you hear the loud scrapes that it makes as it hobbles forward. A sudden chill shoots down your spine as you realize that you are confronting something otherworldly here. You flinch in horror as a face which seems to materialize and turn its attention to you. Haunted furniture and you never get along very well. Your eyes wide in disbelief as the possessed oven, turns to meet your gaze. You must fight to keep your sanity. It's a decent hand. I've had a lot better, though. That is always nice. Whenever a face card shows up and I have a face card in my hand that is one greater than it, it feels so good to play that card and take those points. Your mind is strong. You'll be damned if you let this kitchen appliance scare you. An edge upgrade. This was from a horror check also. So as before, blind fighting is useless to us. We cannot benefit from this. So let's go, well, not at the moment, right? We have no melee weapon that allows us to select a card in hand. So we might as well take lightning reflexes instead. The possessed oven seems to rock back and forth as it sizes you up. You could swear you hear screams from souls trapped within the oven, roasting in agony. The creature is the product of a sorcerer curse of unfathomable evil. So we just have to try to beat it up somehow. You decide to unleash your sorcerer's power on the diabolical contraption. You've had success in the past dispelling such creatures by simply overwhelming their defenses. It's time to turn this one up to 11. We have a garbage hand. Absolute garbage. An 8 is the highest card. Then we have a 5, a 4, and a 3, and an ace. Come on, games. I really freaking hate you. I do see the 6 of cups. I'm going to keep that there at the moment. Holy crap. We still won. A 2 of pentacles showed up. You won the battle. The oven is scorched and melting in places. Whatever spirit possessed it is now gone. You come across an odd sight for this house, and that is saying something. Before you stands a 1922 Kelvinator refrigeration unit. Who knows how it got here? You notice that the door is hanging slightly ajar. Your eyes are drawn to the interior of the main porcelain cabinet, and you are shocked by what you see. Jars and jars of eternal organs. Some humans, some you are not sure of. Your stomach turns at the sight of all the neatly stacked organ jars. The methodical alignments and the precision of the stacking makes you wonder about the evil obsessive-compulsive genius behind this? Question mark? Always good to see the card that I can take with my better card. That Tim, you just described the entirety of the game with that nonsense you just said out loud. It's always nice to see when a face card shows up and I have a face card one higher than it to get me all those delicious points. You aren't going to go looking around for sandwich fixings, but the sight of the organ and tissues, many of them still moving, doesn't really faze you. Rows of neatly stacked transparent jars and specimen dishes containing organs and tissue samples fill the inside of the main porcelain cabinet, each labeled with a neat mechanical handwritten script. Vic, your sentences need to be shorter. You glance over at the labels, noting something of the stranger ones. Krogan, Asari, Drell, Turian? Sounds like those were used for a mass of some sort. On the bottom shelf is a rack holding dozens of vials, each also neatly labeled. Zugu venom, trace of the beyond, Ganat's acid? A witch must use those ones. Alright everyone, we're going to stop here. Thank you guys for watching. And when we come back, well, we'll explore more of the first floor. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching, everyone.